Welcome to yourfaculty.com. We are going to deal with problems on time and distance in this video. This is our website yourfaculty.com and this is our Facebook ID. We'll start with the first question. Before that, I'll just remind you about the formula that we use in time, speed and distance. The formula is a pretty standard one. Speed is equal to distance by time. As I told you in my earlier video, please remember kilometer per hour, right? So if you remember this just means that it is distance per hour or whatever it is, or per time. So remember that this particular concept, and this is the formula that will be used across in this chapter. Okay, so let's start with our first question. A car moves at the speed of 80 km per hour. What is the speed of the car in meters per second? One thing that you need to note in problems related to time and distance is that the units used. It's kilometer per hour here and they're asking for meters per second. So how do you convert a kilometer per hour to meters per second? So let's try to understand what will it be for 1 kilometer for in 1 hour. What should you do to convert this to meters per second? Okay, so 1 kilometer is what? 1000 meters, and 1 hour is 60 minutes to 60 seconds, right? So 3600. So now that you start cancelling this out, what are you left with? 5, 3. So this is equal to 5 by 18 meters per 5 by 18 meters per second. So please remember this, for converting 80 kilometer per hour to meters per second, all that you have to do is multiply it with 5 by 18 and you'll get the answer in the form of meters per second. So the question here is 80 kilometer per hour, and what do you do to convert the meters per second? 80 into 5 by 18, and you will get the answer. You have to cancel this out. 9, this will be 40, 200 by 9, and this is what? 22 2 by 9. That's the answer for you. So moving on to the next question. A man walking at the rate of 5 km per hour crosses a bridge in 15 minutes. The length of the bridge is? So don't get confused by looking at this question. It's again a very simple question. It's just saying that there's a bridge and the man crosses it in 15 minutes, right? So it's again, it's like this. You have been given time, okay, which is 15 minutes. You have been given speed, which is 5 km per hour, and they are just asking you for the distance, and that is being shown in another format as length of the bridge. It's same as your distance, okay, because that's what he's traveling in during that time when with the speed of 5 km per hour. So here, please note, you are supposed to maintain your units. Okay, so for simplicity, what we should do, we are being given 5 km per hour and we will convert this into hours. 15 minutes. How do you convert into hours? By divide by 60. Get 1 by 4. Just maintain that. So what do you get? Right? So speed is equal to distance by time. And what is speed? 5. And distance we need to find out. And time is equal to 1 by 4. So D is equal to 5 by 4, which is equal to what? 1 by 25 kilometer. 1 by 25 kilometers, otherwise 1250 meters. Right? Moving on to the next question. The ratio between the speeds of two trains is 7:8. If the second train runs 400 kilometers in 4 hours, then the speed of the first train is. So as I have to explain in our earlier videos on ratio and proportion, the moment you are given a question like this, we need to first assume that the speeds of the trains are 7x and 8x. Just start with that. Okay. And what are they saying? If the second train runs 400 kilometers in 4 hours. So what are they saying? They are saying that in 4 hours it travels 400 kilometers. Just apply our formula. What is our formula? Speed is equal to distance by time. And according to us, according to the problem, the speed is 8x, right? 8x. And what is the distance? 400 kilometers. And what's the time? 4 hours. So x is equal to 100 by 8. So we'll leave it at that. What are they asking? And the speed of the first train is, so now we need to find out the speed of first train, which is equal to what? 7x. So 7 into 100 by 8. Now you can see what can be done. So we can cancel this out and okay, we'll put the 700 by 8. Okay, 8 8s are 64, 7.5. 87.5 kilometer per hour. That's the speed of the first train. Fair enough. We'll now move on to the next question. A train travels at an average of 50 miles per hour for 2.5 hours and then travels at a speed of 70 miles per hour for 1.5 hours. How far did the train travel in the entire 4 hours? See, here, even though there are too much of information given out in this question, the answer is pretty straightforward, right? So, they have told you that it traveled for 2.5 hours at 50 miles per hour, right? Miles per hour. And next 1.5 hours, it has traveled at 70 miles per hour. So all that they are saying is we need to first find out the distance of this and then find out the distance of this. We anyway have kilometer or speed and time. We again here have speed and time. So all that we have to do is just do a simple addition. So total distance is equal to, everything is in miles, so they will just maintain miles per hour. So 50 into distance is equal to what? Speed into time, right? Speed into 2.5 plus 70 into 1.5. That's it. So this will be like 5 by 2, 25 5s are 125. This will be 3 by 2, 35 into 3 is 105, and your answer is 230 miles. Okay. So move on to the next question. Sound is said to travel in air at about 1100 feet per second. A man hears the axe striking the tree 11 by 5 seconds after he sees it strike the tree. How far is the man from the woodchopper? See, because there is this word called sound or light, please don't ignore such questions. It's again, as I told you, it's just application of speed is equal to distance by time. You just need to apply the same concept over here. So what is the question that they are asking for? How far is the man from the wood chopper? We know the speed, which is this. We know the time, which is this. They are maintained the units as it is, which is seconds. So they are asking for how far the man is. So what is the formula in this case? The same concept. Distance is equal to speed into time. So what is the speed? Speed is 1100 and time is 11 by 5, right? So what do you get the answer? 11 twos are 22, 11 twos are 22, 24. 2420 feet. That's your answer. So please don't ignore the question when you see sound or light or something like that in your exams. It's fairly easy. All that you have to do is apply this concept, and if you understood the question, all that they are saying is the sound has traveled a certain distance, and they are told the sound travels at this speed, and it reaches a person after these many seconds. That's it. So you just need to apply the speed is equal to distance by time formula, and you get the answer. And next question, an express train traveled at an average speed of 100 km per hour, stopping for 3 minutes after every 75 seconds. How long did it take to reach its destination 600 kilometers from the starting point? Okay. So here there are two things. One is it is traveling 600 kilometers, right, at an average speed of 100 km per hour. But it is stopping at every 75 km for 3 minutes. So how do we do that? Let's go step by step. So first is step 1. So first you are going to find how long will it take to cover 600 meters. Time taken to travel, 600 kilometers, right? How long will it take? It's very simple, right? Speed is equal to distance by time. And what is the speed we have here? It's 100, and distance 600, and time, that's what we need to find out. So the answer is time is equal to 6 hours. So for the train to travel from point A to point B is 6 hours, but it is stopping at every 75 kilometer. So how do we find out the number of stoppages? We need to find out the number of stoppages in this 600 kilometer. So if at every 75 kilometer it is stopping, how do we find it out? All that we have to do is do a division, right? If you look at it, it stops at 75, it then stops at 150, it stops at 225, then it stops at 300. So it's basically you just need to divide and know how many times it's going to stop, right? So the number of stoppages will be, if you divide this, you will get 8. Now if you look at it, you are starting at point A and you are going so far. So you reach 300 here, then I'll just continue. You reach 375, 450, 525, 600. So if you look at it, the number of stoppages are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But when you already reached the destination, you don't have to count that into account. So you are actually 600 by 175 minus 1, which is equal to 7. So the number of stoppages is actually 7, because the last one you don't have to consider because you have already reached the destination. So, and what are they saying? They stop for 3 minutes per stoppage, right? So what is the time spent in the case of if it is 3 minutes? 7 into 3, which is equal to 21 minutes on stoppages. We already know that is 6 hours to travel and 21 minutes for stoppage. So 6 hours plus 21 minutes is equal to 6 hours 21 minutes. It's the total time from starting point till the end point. Please remember, the last stoppage we don't have to consider here because the train has already reached its destination. So there are only 7 stoppages as you see over here. Please have this diagram in mind. So I hope you understood this question. A car starts with a speed of 70 km per hour with the speed increasing every 2 hours. Please note this, it's increasing every 2 hours by 10 km per hour. In how many hours will it cover 345 kilometers. Okay. So they are saying that its speed is increasing every 2 hours at 10 kilometers per hour. So first 2 hours, how much do you think it would have traveled? Distance traveled is equal to, we just need to multiply speed into the time, which is 2 hours. 140 kilometers is still less than 345. In next 2 hours, distance is equal to, so what happens to your speed now? It increases by 10 kilometers. So its new speed is 80 into 2 hours is equal to 160. So what do we have now? We now have 140 plus 160, which is equal to 300 kilometers, right? And what is it they are asking for? They are asking for 345 kilometers, right? So what is our next step? So we need to identify what is the balance distance that has to be traveled. Balance distance is equal to 45 kilometers. And what is the new speed? New speed is equal to, it was 70, it is 80, and now it is 90 kilometers per hour, right? So that you already traveled 4 hours, and you need to now travel 45 kilometer at 90 kilometer per hour. So what would it be? It's very simple, right? In 1 hour, if at 90 kilometer per hour, in 1 hour you travel 90 kilometers. In 30 minutes, you travel 45 kilometers, right? So the 45 kilometer distance can be traveled in 30 minutes, right? So the answer is 4 hours, first 2 hours, then next 2 hours, and then 30 minutes, 4.5 hours. So that's the answer for you. Please note it's 4 hours plus 30 minutes to travel 45 kilometers, so it's 4 hours 30 minutes, so 4.5 hours. Hope you understood this question. If you Thanks for watching our video. You can subscribe to more videos at your faculty channel. Like us on our Facebook page and our LinkedIn page, and you can also follow us on Twitter. Thank you.